Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're diving deep into something that really challenges, well, pretty much everything we thought we knew about weight loss.
Right. And emotional hunger, and even drugs like semaglutide.
Exactly. We're looking through the lens of some profound insights from a man named Dan Hollis.
Yeah, the sources we have are these reflections from someone who worked closely with him. Yeah.
That's it. And it's a really unique perspective. It kind of pushes past all the usual talk about calories or, discipline, goes much deeper.
Much deeper into the human side of it all.
So our mission today, let's try and pull out those surprising bits of wisdom, the things that make you rethink why people struggle with food and weight. Understand what's really going on.
And what's so fascinating here is how it moves beyond just seeing semaglutide as a technical fix.
Yeah.
It frames it as almost an opportunity, a chance for some really deep personal discovery, like rebuilding things from the inside out.
Okay, so let's start there. With Dan Hollis's view on semaglutide, it's pretty radical compared to the norm.
hmm The standard view is appetite suppression, maybe helps with fat loss, hormone stuff.
Right, the usual mechanisms. But Hollis, he says something quite different. He says, and I'm quoting here, semaglutide gives you silence, and silence gives you truth.
Wow. Silence. That's a powerful word choice.
It is, isn't it? And this silence, he argues, it's not just about the food noise stopping. He says it provides the first honest moment some people have had in maybe 20 years.
That's huge. If we connect that to the bigger picture, it shifts everything. It's not about physical control then. It's about inner awareness suddenly becoming possible.
So the drug isn't the answer itself.
Exactly. He sees it as creating a pause,
Yeah.
a breather, a reset. It's like it creates the condition needed for the real work to start.
Which explains what he observed, I guess. That people don't fail because the drug stops working.
Right, but because they don't know what to do with the quiet, they haven't been taught how to handle that internal space.
Okay, so that leads us straight into the next big piece. Emotional hunger. This is where it gets really interesting, I think. Hollis basically says the world's view on fat, calories, carbs, discipline is just wrong, completely off base.
He argues it's about something else entirely.
Yeah, and he talks about emotional hunger not like a rumbling stomach, but more complex. He says it sounds like a craving, but it's actually a question, a need asking to be seen.
That reframing is key. It's not a failure of willpower, it's a signal.
Can you give us some examples, like what kind of question is being asked?
Sure. The sources mention things like mistaking being tired for being hungry, or feeling lonely and reaching for food, or even just being totally overstimulated.
Ah, okay, so the real need isn't food, it's maybe connection, comfort, or clarity, as he puts it.
Precisely. And this flips the script, doesn't it? Instead of shaming emotional eating, you start naming it, seeing it as wisdom misdirected. It's trying to tell you something important.
So the challenge then becomes, how do you pause? Not to punish yourself like you usually might, but to actually get curious about what you're really hungry for.
Exactly. And that's where the silence from semaglutide comes in his view. It doesn't solve the emotional hunger. It just quiets the biological static enough so you can finally hear that deeper question. The message is stark. It was never about the food.
Never about the food.
Wow. It's about figuring out what that craving truly represented: comfort, connection, maybe just a break.
Okay, so semaglutide gives you this quiet space, which sounds great, but also maybe a bit daunting.
It absolutely can be. The sources say the silence scares the hell out of most folks.
Really? Why?
Well, it makes them feel like they lost their favorite lie. That familiar noise of craving and response is gone, and what's left?
So they might just fall back into old habits. The cheese puffs, cheat days, chaos, as the source puts it.
It's a common pattern, which is why Hollis emphasizes having a plan for the quiet. He talks about building things, like scaffolding, a framework, identity, ritual, even language.
Like a scaffolding, framework. What does that look like practical? What are people actually building?
Good question. It could be things like setting up new daily routines that aren't centered around food cues, or establishing clear boundaries, or simply finding the words to say, I feel lonely, instead of I feel hungry.
So new structures for your life, basically.
New structures, yeah. And his approach, it's really unique. He talks about teaching people to sit in shame long enough to learn something from it.
Whoa, that's different.
It is. He calls it a different kind of medicine compared to just trying to, ignore it or push past it.
So the work is about
What?
Rewriting your story.
Pretty much. Rewriting the story people were too full to finish, is how the source describes it. Rebuilding your sense of self, your emotional awareness, while those intense cravings are turned down.
And it's not about iron-fisted control.
No, not at all. He calls it intentional surrender, which leads to building this inner architecture, something solid inside you that, well, you can't package it. You have to build it yourself.
Like building resilience, maybe?
Yeah.
So stress doesn't automatically equal reaching for the snack cupboard.
Exactly. Building those internal resources.
This really does shift the whole paradigm of weight loss, doesn't it? It's moving way beyond the scale.
Totally.
Hollis says, weight loss isn't about chasing a number. It's about building a life where food isn't your only coping tool. That's a huge reframe.
It is. And he follows it up with, you didn't lose control. You lost connection.
Connection. To what?
To your hunger cues, to your purpose, to yourself. And he adds, that's what we help you rebuild.
That hits hard. Losing connection, not control.
It reframes the struggle completely. And the long-term view from his teaching is that the real work begins when the cravings stop.
Okay.
That's when the truth shows up. Because now you have the space to see what's really going on underneath.
So it's about replacing habits, not just stopping them.
Right. Because, as he apparently says, biology might give you a head start, but only identity keeps you moving. You need that internal shift.
Identity, not discipline.
Mm-hmm. You don't hold on to weight loss with discipline. You hold on to it with alignment. Finding what feels true to you, not just following rules.
Now, while Hollis makes this strong case that it was never about the food, we should probably acknowledge.
Yeah, for sure. For some people, the biological drive is a massive hurdle. The drug tackles that first, making space for the deeper work he's talking about. It's not necessarily either.
Good point. It addresses that initial barrier.
But his ultimate takeaway seems to be that this journey, weight loss, it isn't about becoming someone else.
It's about becoming yourself.
Exactly. Finally having the space to become yourself.
Okay, so wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you listening right now?
Well, this dive into Dan Hollis's thinking suggests seeing semaglutide, if that's relevant, not just as a weight fix, but as a tool for silence.
And in that silence, that's where the real work happens, understanding and healing that emotional hunger piece.
Yeah. It means maybe seeing cravings differently, not as enemies, but as messengers.
Messengers. Okay, so instead of fighting it, you pause and ask.
What's this really about? What am I actually needing right now?
And seeing that quiet space the drug might offer not as emptiness, but as a huge opportunity.
Right, because lasting change, true weight loss in the sense he means it, isn't just about appetite or willpower. It's about rewriting your internal script, building new ways of being.
Building that inner architecture.
Mm-hmm. So maybe a final thought to leave people with.
Go for it.
Well, consider this. If something like semaglutide offers this sacred window of quiet, what profound truths might you uncover about yourself? When all that noise from old habits and cravings finally dials down, what's waiting to be heard?
That's a powerful thought to sit with.
Yeah.
We really hope this deep dive has given you some fresh perspective on this whole journey towards a healthier, more aligned life.